So today is the official release of the Hunted, and in celebration, we have a double header. That's right, not one, but two day one deck tech videos. See, I am super pumped to get paper reps with Syndra this weekend, but I've also been playing Arcane ASC since Outsiders, and they got a ton of new toys. So in this video, I'm going over my Cindering Daggers list, but for you Assassin fans, be sure to check out the sister video for ASC. So let's get to it. Syndra's Cindering Daggers in Blitz. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my Flesh and Blood friends. Welcome back to the channel, and not only happy Flesh and Blood Friday, but happy Hunted release day. That's right. It's today. I'm very excited. We always do Blitz out of the gate on release weekend because it's harder for people to get, 3 sets of cards. I should say it's easier to get 2 than it is 3. So we usually do Blitz, and that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend is trying to get Syndra to work. I still need 1 Bloods Run Deep, but I think we'll figure it out. But either way, this is what I'm going to at least attempt to get pulled together for this weekend. And, maybe if I can't get it pulled together for the tournament, we'll be, doing slips of paper and all that stuff, trying to figure out how to make it work with my buddies afterwards. So a couple of things about this. I've been playing her in both CC and Blitz. There's been plenty of deck tech videos out there for honestly several weeks now on Syndra in CC. I've been struggling with her a little bit in terms of the sequencing, right? When you compare her to like Fi, which is just kind of like a go, go, go. She's very aggressive, obviously, being Syndra is very aggressive. But the sequencing is a little harder with the daggers, right? Because conceptually, it's pretty simple. Dagger, dagger, do something to throw them, get them back. A little harder in execution because she doesn't actually, like in the grand scheme of things, doesn't actually have as many flicks as you'd probably like her to have. So to that effect, one card that I like is blue, specifically Silver Talons. Now, Silver Talon, I guess you could play the red, but I'm playing the blue because it's a block 3 and it's blue, and right, and it doesn't always work, so I think it works well as a blue. But so when this attacks, if it's draconic, you can have target dagger you control deal 1 damage to them. If damage is dealt this way, right, do the thing. So you can always get 1, unless you've lost your flick knives, you can always get 1 off the chain and backfill 1. But something like Silver Talons I think is actually really effective for helping with that. Now there is Throw Yourself with them, which I'm not playing in this list, but that because it costs 1, it's not draconic and it costs 1. And it kind of screws through their math a little bit. I've tried it, so I'm not doing that one. But Silver Talons to try and end, if you make a fealty or you've got brand, it does work. It helps a little bit. But to my point, unless you have like the thing, a lot of times you'll end up with like this weird 1 dagger situation. And in Blitz, you don't really have time to go all out with her. And when I say all out, you don't have time to just like go ham with her because you need to make sure that your combo turn lands, right? And by combo turn, I just mean your big turn, right? You need to make sure you have a big turn. And sometimes if you're going into, like, you finally draw the nuts, but you only have 1 dagger on the table or something like that, it's a little tricky. So I am still overall trying to figure that out. But part of the way that I've designed this deck today is to try to kind of avoid overall those weird situations. Okay, so let's go ahead into the list. You see Cindering Daggers. I figured out how to get the emojis, which is just copy paste, but now you have to deal with my emojis in the deck text as well. So we're on Blood Spattered Vest. Ironically, don't end up using, and I guess that feeds back to what I was talking about with Throw Yourself at them, casting 1. I guess it backfills, but this card is crazy, crazy, crazy good in this format. And I am playing the Flexors as well. Those are the equipments. One thing that is a problem is I'm on AB2. Blaze is a thing, but I am on Polarity. And Oasis always feels right, but again, you're running pretty low profile. Okay, so we're on Blaze Headlong, Blood Runs Deep, obviously, Brand Red Blue, Burning Blade Dance. So this one is a flick effect, but it has to hit, and they don't really ever let you hit with this. Like, they'll even throw armor just to prevent, because then it screws up your backfill. So just, like when I was saying at the beginning that there's not as many flick effects as you would expect, I think this is part of the reason. Be nice if that could hit. Devotion Never Dies does seem to work pretty well with this. Do remember that obviously you want this to hit and then do it again and keep going infinite on it. But just throwing this out there is going to suck stuff up. So you can try to, do like and you always have Draconics on board as long as you have daggers, right? So it's really nice. You can dagger and then do this. And then if they cover up, then you can like try and do your burning, because like maybe they don't want to give you 2 cards, right? Or you're sucking out cards that they didn't want to give you. Either way, it's a net win. So I really like this card in the list. People block this card. Okay. 1 drop of Dragon Blood, which balances out our Wrath of Retribution. This is an interesting little card. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but card I also love is Hot on Their Heels. This is functionally a better Lava Vein Loyalty because it's strictly better in terms of hitting and marking and maybe giving you that fealty. It's not like we're not playing very much mark. This is the only mark thing we're playing, actually, to be clear. But sometimes that fealty is a big deal, and sometimes they're weird, at least early, they're worried about it. I think once people realize that Syndra is really not playing much mark stuff in the grand scheme of things, I think people won't care about this as much. But giving her fealty is pretty good. Lava Burst is in here because yes, we can. Lava Vein Loyalty, like talked about. Oath of Loyalty. I wasn't sure whether I was going to like this card or not. I do. I was able to get 2 of them. So we've got that going for us. Rock on. Do like that a lot. Another one is Rake Over the Coals. So this one I've gone back and forth on. It's kind of your Art of War, right? But I could go... Honestly, you could go back and forth on this one. I just think it's the right play because it pushes things over to hit. And you're looking at it and you're like, oh, well, it makes my daggers. Yes, it does. But it also makes other things, because one of the cool things about Syndra is that with the flicks and everything, it's really hard to keep her off mask. And something like Rake Over the Coals, right? In Fi, we used to play Ancestral Empowerment. Right, not playing that here, playing this instead, because again, I believe it to be the right play because you have more attacks. Yes, you don't get the card backfill, but in many cases, from a mask standpoint, you do. I realized that in Fi, I used to be able to Ancestral, and in theory, get 2 cards off the, get the Ancestral card plus the mask card. I get it. This one overall seems better and creates weird blocking situations. Spreading Flames is in here because, of course, it is. Card's amazing. Now, Wrath of Retribution is a very interesting card, right? So it's the cost to play it is equal to, or is reduced by Draconic, so, which means you need to have 3. So this has to be number 4. And when it attacks, daggers you control get +1 and cost 1 less to activate. So this card's crazy good, but also like this, it needs kind of a setup situation, right? Because I mean, like Dreamland, what you really wanted to do is like chase like a Blood Runs Deep or something like that, right? Where you can use your daggers to generate the Draconic links you need, then get them off the board, have this one comes down, backfill them, and then do them, and then have them for free. On the other hand, you then almost certainly have no daggers, right? Because you've already used your thing. There are some edge cases. I had one I was playing a little earlier today. I had one where I was able to, it was an Oath of Loyalty turn actually. So it went Oath of Loyalty, Blaze Headlong, Lava Vein, Loyalty, and then Wrath of Retribution, and then Dagger. Yeah, I mean, actually I had to backfill daggers at that point, right? So then I flicked one and I was able to get it back, but yeah. Now that was, I was dagger, and then I flicked one, and then I cindered and I got it back and I daggered again. So, I mean, that's pretty good. They were able to keep me off my mask that turn, but again, just keep in context here that you do have to have 3 to be able to play it. A lot of time that's going to be your daggers, so you have to do the thing to get your daggers, and then you're going to be dry after that. So this really needs to make sure that like you're in a killing blow or nearly like momentum changing situation. To round this out, we've got Salt the Wound, of course. We have Knives Out, another +1, but that's only for our daggers. Silver Talons like to talk about. Stab Wound, I think, is an auto include here. And then Throw Dagger is another flick effect, and this one's cool because it not only does this help you actually clear, but you to draw a card out of it. Okay, now the interesting thing here is Poison Blade. I think this is too good to not play, so we're on both the red and the yellow. Again, I think it's just too good to not play. And that's part of the other, because we have this one in there, that's one of the other reasons I don't have, throw yourself at them in here, is for that very reason. So that's what I have right now. The Poison Blade combo with the Flick is just really good in 20 health. We have Shelter from the Storm in our sideboard. Okay, so that'll you actually don't hate doing this against like Blaze either. I know it sounds weird, but it's like, why would I put a red D-React in against a Wizard? Well, because you only got 82. That would be why. So that's the deck. It's I'm still learning. Let's put it that way. I think that she's got a lot of potential, but I think the sequencing is not as straightforward as we thought. So I think there's going to be a bit learning here. I'm really excited for this weekend, which is Memphis Calling, to see, and I realize that's CC, but I'm really excited to see what the results of that are and kind of if there's any super spice out of there. I very much anticipate just like generic daggers to dominate the weekend, but we'll see if there's any interesting learnings coming out of it. So anyway, that'll do it for this version. Again, remember we've got the ASC day one deck tech as well, dropping about 15-20 minutes after this one. So check them both out. And thanks for joining, my friends. Happy rips this weekend, and go Commando.